Fat Bones DK Golf here with Wildman to break down the Zozo Championship top picks. What up, Wildman?
Yo,
Feeling great about this week heading to Zozo. A couple key stats to break down. Let's hear the breakdown of what you think this week. What are the key stats and what's the course like?
yeah, the course is Sherwood Country Club, Thousand Oaks, California. Makes its first PGA Tour event return since 2013, and it's a very short course. Uh, Based on United States PGA Tour courses, this is like the fourth or fifth shortest course they'll play. And the only ones really shorter are all those ones out there at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am that play really short. So, you're looking at wedge players, you're looking at guys that play short course as well. It's bent grass greens. And something kind of rare about this course is that you're getting 5 par 5s and 5 par 3s up from 4 and 4 on a traditional par 72. So those are definitely things you're going to want to be looking at. Par 5 scoring, par 3 scoring, and who's playing short course as well, because this is a track that, guys like us play.
Yeah,
About 7,000 yards.
with not a lot of course history, you want to look into like just guys that play corollary courses, which is like RBC and Colonial, which is I've been looking into this week. But you nailed it. I mean, driving accuracy is huge this week as well. I mean, if you look at past winners back in 2000 to 2013, it was what Zach Johnson, Tiger Woods, Graham McDowell, all just guys that were short off the tee but accurate and good irons.
Yeah. Yeah, you bring up a good point. And while there's no course history over the last 7 seasons, you look back now. It played here from 2000 to 2013. 10 of those events, Tiger finished first or second. So it was like the prime of Tiger Woods, obviously. But you look at guys that pop up on leaderboards in those events, and they're Graham McDowell or Zach Johnson, Matt Kuchar, Kim
Future
Furyk.
Hendrick Stenson as well. Furyk.
Yeah, Stenson, Furyk. Now, not all those guys are in the field this week, but it kind of gives you an idea of what kind of player those guys are. Predominantly, short, accurate hitters, that have good wedge play. So it's interesting for sure.
Definitely, and you want to look at bent grass. Last week was bent grass as well, so I'm looking at guys. It was a little longer, but I want to see guys that played well last week as well. So I'm looking at last week and those two courses I mentioned earlier, plus a little history of the style of play. But let's get right into the top picks now. After we broke down what the course is going to be like. Also, I want to mention 8 holes have water in play, and there's also 51 bunkers. So again, you want to be accurate off the tee because there's a lot of danger out there, and you can really escape from the field. Take a lead there if you just are accurate off the tee. But leads me into my top picks and your top picks. We're gonna kind of put them all together here, but Justin Thomas is who I'm gonna lead off with. I'm not saying Xander Schauffele is a bad play, but he's finally the top price player. He's 11-2. He'll probably finish in the top 5. But I'm just gonna have a savings. You save $800, which is a lot in this tournament, and I'm gonna start with JT most of the places. That's my favorite guy in the top in the $10,000 range. I also like Hatton. He's the toughest guy of the week for me. I'm trying to fit him in any lineup I can. More of a stars and scrubs lineup for me. But man, 10K, he's finally up there. And you mentioned it before. He's never won, I think, on U.S. soil. Only won on European soil. So
Yeah, he won the Arnold Palmer in March, so he does have a U.S. win. Hatton, that is.
okay, that's big. Then
But
I mean, he tends to string them together if you look at it. I mean, a first and a third. You know, good at
yeah,
the RBC T3. I mean, he's a player.
he just won the BMW over in Europe, which is the equivalent to the Players Championship here. So big win as far as the European Tour is concerned. He's also got 3 worldwide wins in his last 14 starts, and mix in a couple of top 5s in those 14 starts too. So he's streaky. He can put them together maybe better than anybody. Like Justin Thomas-esque birdie streaks out of this guy. So it's just a matter of are you going to get, the great Tyrrell Hatton, or are you going to get, sort of the head case, hot tempered kind of guy who can, you know, shoot a 65 and then shoot a 74.
Yeah, I mean he missed the cut at the U.S. Open, and that's kind of a course where you want driving accuracy there. So I just think I'm struggling a lot with Terrell Hatton this week. But you go down there, and then you have Colin Morikawa and Webb Simpson, and those two guys I absolutely love. I had to choose between two of the guys in my lineup this week, and I'm actually going Webb Simpson. He's more of a cash game play probably, but he's just I just think he's super underrated. He can really string in birdies as well. If you actually look at him, he has the highest fantasy points per game in DraftKings, coming off a 13th, 8th, 12th, 6th, 3rd. You just can't deny the guy. Colin Morikawa, he can definitely win. He might win you $1 million this week, but I had to choose between two guys, and I picked Webb Simpson.
Yeah, Simpson's been on the tour for a lot longer than a lot of people think. He played at Sherwood, from like 2008 to 2013. He had a bunch of top tens, so he's familiar with this course. He's not a West Coast guy. I believe he's from North Carolina, but bent grass player. Really been good off the tee. Really started to get his putter going lately. Guy that's got a U.S. Open win. He's got a Players Championship win. He's got a couple other wins on the tour. Um, Definitely a sleeper he feels like he's the new Xander, right? Like Xander's in this like high nines, low tens range, and it feels like a good value based on his world ranking and his resume. And one thing real quick, I just wanted to bring up about Xander before we pass it up, because you should know this, because this is on our brand. He has 3 of the best 4 rounds strokes gained putting of his career in the last 3 events.
And that's interesting. You don't want to ride a hot putter.
Well, I mean, certainly you got to believe in the laws of probability and regression, and that, again, he still can't get over the hump, and he's putting better than he ever has in his life. So, feels like a good spot at that price to maybe take a break from Xander, which is hard to do because we love him.
Yeah, he's not a bad play. I'm not saying he's a bad play. I'm just playing JT this week. I also think Webb Simpson can go out and beat Xander any day. So that's also why I like Webb Simpson this week at 9-7. That's my 2 top guys here in the $9,000 range. You drop down to the lower $9,000 range. You got Patrick Cantlay. I know Wildman, you like him this week. Give a little take on Patrick Cantlay.
Yeah. He's again a guy that sort of flies under the radar, and you think he's playing poorly. And then you look at his stats, and really you think that because he's not a very trendy pick, and he's not a guy that maybe much about. He
as Edge would say, not a sexy pick.
Exactly. But no, seriously, he took a lot of time off on the PGA Tour with a back injury and had something go on in his personal life. So, he was really an up and comer who's just started to break out onto the tour again over the last like year and a half. But again, you think he's playing like junk, and he's coming off a 12th, made the cut at the U.S. Open, 8th at the Shriners, 38th last week, and really didn't putt it and hit it that well. So I mean, a guy that I like on short courses too. If you're believing in that RBC Heritage Colonial corollary courses, nobody would check the boxes more than this guy. So, I'm looking long and hard at Cantlay this week.
Yeah, and Cantlay had great history at the Shriners, and everyone was kind of fading him a little bit that week, coming off a cut 12th and 43rd. What do you know, T8? So he shows up when he should, and I like Cantlay this week. He's going to be low owned. He'll be under 10% owned. If you come down, in the $8,000 range, I like a couple guys here. Harris English, he's been playing great. He's been known to be a better putter on bent grass as well. You can't really deny the guy. Came in 10th place last week. I think he's a great value play. Daniel Berger as well. I don't know if we mentioned him already, but he's also an interesting play. Hasn't been playing as well as he was back in July, and like you said, that's a while ago. So looking something more out of Berger there, but He's interesting playing in the $8,000 range. Our boy Scotty Scheffler. That's the 8K range. I mean, who do you like here in the 8K range? I'm kind of fading this range, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't love the range very much either. I think, Kokrak's coming off the win, but, he still just doesn't have the consistency you're looking for. Scheffler doesn't seem to have been the same since he caught fire there around the PGA Championship and got COVID. But yeah, I think if you want to zero in on an important decision, because I expect both of these guys to play well, it's going to be Berger and English, and there's really a strong case for both. I don't even really have a lean on that pick right now. Who I'd be on? I like them both.
Yeah, they're both great picks. I'm an English guy, so I'm gonna lean Harris English again. He just seems to be a grinder. Seems to avoid tough, out of bounds penalty plays. So a fourth at the U.S. Open, which you need driving accuracy, and a 10th at the CJ Cup at a no-cut event. I kind of really like Harris English this week. But that's pretty much my only take down there. We're running out of time. We actually only have 3 minutes left with the 15-minute YouTube clip. So, I actually don't like that many guys in the $7,000 range. So I'm going to go straight down to the scrubs. I mean, the flyer of the week and all these guys. I mean, Adam Scott withdrew for COVID, and that's who I liked in the $7,000 range. So the next guy I'm going to hit is my pick is Joel Damon, 6,500. Has good history at the RBC and the Colonial. Super accurate off the tee, and I like him at shorter courses. Dominated par fives last week and played pretty decent.
Yeah, I love it. Love Damon there. Big time birdie maker. I'll throw in Corey Connors as the flyer of the week. He's long been a terrible putter.
The flyer of the week is in, folks. The flyer of the week is in.
Yeah, when he's got it, his tee to green game is like top 10 in the world. Now he has to bring it. If he doesn't, he's going to struggle. But I think this course sets up well for him, where he doesn't have to bomb it off the tee.
Yeah, I mean, both those picks are kind of risky. Miscut at the U.S. Open for Corey Connors, but I tend to agree. He is awesome off the tee, and you got to make some risks. I mean, Corey Connors is coming off, 19 and 18 birdies. So he is in form, even though he came in 17th and 61st. He's there with an eagle as well. So all day on Corey Connors. Same with Joel Damon, Dahmen, however you want to say it. He hit 38th and 58th and a missed cut. However, coming off 17 and 20 birdies, also was 4 under on the par 5s last week on Sunday. So I like this guy with more par 5s and par 3s. That's pretty. Another guy I want to mention is, I mentioned him last week, Tyler Duncan. He was min price last week, $6,500. Played great. Also he came in 34th at the U.S. Open, and has good history as well at the RBC.
Duncan is top 5 in driving accuracy in 2020.
Top 5, exactly. I love this guy. I mean, he was a steal last week at 6,000. And, I think you go right back to him. So all three of those guys, if you want to do the stars and scrubs, put those 3 guys in and figure out your top 3 there. That's the top pick breakdown. You heard the flyer of the week. We'll post it again. I hope everyone wins money this week. Wildman, thanks for tuning in.